Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Student Council election debate. Today, we'll hear from 6 candidates running for president and vice president.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here, the candidates and all the media team. Here's how the debate will run. We will have 4 segments. First segment is the introduction. Each team will have 90 seconds to give their opening speeches. So this is where you do your visions and missions, who you are, and why you are running, things like those. In this segment, presidents and vice presidents can collaborate as to how they will present it. So basically, you just have the 90 minutes. Use that however you want, president and vice president, to give your speeches. Then we'll have a second segment, which we call Pool of Prompts. In this segment, each candidate will be given one question coming from these 2 pouches. So we have this pouch and this pouch. The questions in each pouch are of a different theme, but basically, we will choose a question. Don't worry, it's random. And the candidates will have, how long? 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute to prepare their answers. After 30 seconds to prepare, and then after that, 1 minute to answer the prompt. In this segment, only presidents will be answering. But during the preparation time, presidents and vice presidents can discuss their answers. And after the president gives their 1-minute speech, the floor will be open to any other candidate to ask questions or give rebuttals. And you can even have follow-up questions. Then, after the Pool of Prompts segment, we will have the candidate-to-candidate Q&A. In this segment, it will be only for vice presidents. So in this segment, a candidate's vice president can ask a question to another candidate, any question they want. And in this segment, once a candidate has been asked, that candidate cannot be asked again. But the candidate that asked the question can be asked by others. Does that make sense? Let me give you an example. Let's say candidate A's vice president asks a question to candidate B's vice president. That means no other candidate can ask candidate B's vice. However, candidate A can still be asked by whoever else. Then, after the candidate-to-candidate Q&A, we will have closing statements from every candidate. And just like the introduction segment, in this segment, presidents and vice presidents can collaborate as to how they would like to give their closing statements. And how long is closing statements? 1 minute per candidate? Okay. So that's how this debate will go. Any questions from any candidates, vices, presidents, media team, or literally anyone?
We'll explain it per session later. No questions? Okay, but our goal for today's debate will be to keep this debate respectful, organized, and fair so that every team has an opportunity to share their vision and ideas. So we will also keep the timing strict, and we will tell you when the time is running low. Okay, so before we begin, we'll go over the rules.
All right. Number 1, respectful conduct. Address ideas, not individuals. No personal attacks or interruptions. Number 2, speak only when recognized. Wait for the moderator to call your turn. The moderators being him and me. Then, constructive debate. Present ideas and solutions, not just criticism. No cross-talking. Stay silent while others are speaking. Professional tone. Maintain calm, confident, and courteous behavior. You'll receive a 10-second warning before the time ends. And this warning will be us or her, knocking on the table. And once time is up, please finish your last sentence and close it. And when time is up, oh yeah, never mind, I said that already.
Okay, so thank you, candidates. Let's begin with the debate of the opening speeches.
So, we are going to go to the first segment, which is introduction speeches from all the candidates. We will begin with candidate 1, followed by candidate 2, 3, and finish it off with candidate 6.
Okay, I'm from Candidate 1 and I want every student to feel heard, included, and empowered. I see great potential that our study body holds, and I believe in the right potential of right hands, we can turn great ideas into a real impact. I'm a responsible person and work well with others, and I have good time management, which I feel like will be important as running for us as candidates.
Hi, I'm Andrew Martica Santoso, and I'm with Marilyn Ang for candidate number 1. So I want to contribute more to our school and make positive changes to everything. I enjoy organizing activities that allow students to collaborate with one another, and every candidate has good quality, but what makes us different is our consistency and teamwork. I don't just give ideas, I get things done. I'm open to listening because I believe a good leader works with people, not above them.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to all of you candidates. We are Candidate 2, consisting of me, Phoebe Alexander Santoso, and my Vice President, Eugenia Sidharto. So, firstly, we would like to explain that our vision is to create an environment where everyone is equally listened to, heard, and valued. As we both have experienced some inequalities in the school, and now that we have a chance to step up with this opportunity, we want to give others the opportunity to speak up, speak their mind, amplify their voices, and feel valued in our community.
So that was our vision. Now with our mission. Our mission is to create multiple engaging activities that promote engagement and participation while still being fun and also making sure everyone's voice is heard. And why are we running? And I believe that was stated earlier.
So, in conclusion to our statements of our opening speech, we would like to say, lastly, again, that our vision and mission is to create an environment where everyone is listened to, and we will be doing this by giving everyone the opportunity to speak up. And us as leaders, we promise, we will try our best to enforce a community in which everyone is valued and listened to. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone, fellow candidates and fellow facilitators. I am Kevin Ojugo Panjaitan from 11 Science A, here with my vice, Valian Calista Wang from grade 9B, and we represent candidate number 3. Our vision when it comes to leading this student organization is to create a well-organized, dependable, and inclusive organization that this school can take pride in and that will invigorate and inspire students to grow and become successful members of society. Our mission to achieve this big vision is to create fun and exciting events that'll help students learn and grow both in spirit and mind, as well as bond with the community around them. Create a pleasant environment in the organization so that the organization does not reign over the students, but support them up. And lastly, to okay, yeah, that's it for candidate number 3. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica,
And I'm Jennifer.
and today we are going to tell you the reasons why we want to run for president and vice president in our vision mission. First of all, the reason why I want to join this and become president is because I'm a responsible person. I like to listen to people's opinion, and I like to organize events for our school.
And as for me, I want to join student council because I love working with other people. I do well in teamwork. I also communicate well, and I would consider myself to be a responsible person.
So, our vision and mission is to create a student-centered community that values growth, inclusivity, and collaboration.
And we want to ensure every student feels seen, heard, and valued, and also appreciated. We also want to organize events that can help bring joy, unity, and pride to our school. We want to work hand in hand with students and also teachers to make SES the best it can be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Before our speech, I would like to introduce ourselves. So I am Aurelia Natasha from 10B. I would consider myself a responsible and respective student that would like to listen to students and maybe even teachers' opinions over a specific topic.
So my name is Eileen Abigail Usboko, and I'm a very responsible person, and I like to organize events, and I'm very outgoing as well. I want to be able to bring ideas together, whether it's from students or maybe also student council members.
So next, I would like to state our vision and mission. So firstly, our vision is to make this community and the school a more united and inspiring place where where anyone is proud to be a part of. And our mission is to make sure everyone's voices are heard and to allow every student to have a chance to shine. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Candidate 6, and I am dear Alicia Manto, and with my vice,
Adeline.
our vision is to make SHS a united, respectful, and harmonious school that helps every student grow and reach with their full potential, both academically and non-academically.
My vision is to build harmonious and communicative relationships among teachers, students, and all members of SES community, to organize positive activities and help students explore their interests and talents.
We believe that with my experience as a student council before at elementary and junior high school, and with both our personality, we can offer good things to the student council. And we also believe that school isn't just a place where to study, but also to have fun, feel included, and respected. We would also hear people's opinion and turn them into real action. We would like to create a environment where everyone feels included, listened, and seen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, candidates. That concludes our opening round. So now let's move to the pool of prompts. So in this round, the moderators will draw random questions from the bowl, and only the president may respond from each team, but you may still collaborate with each other in deciding the answer. And then there will be two separate themes, each with its own bowl of prompts, meaning each president will have to answer two different questions from each team. After each response, other teams will also have the opportunity to offer a rebuttal if they wish.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, as this guy has said, we'll be drawing questions from these two bowls, or not necessarily bowls, but anyways, there will be questions here, and you guys get to collaborate with your vices as to how to answer them, and then after that, the floor will be open to any rebuttals. There will be 30 seconds to prepare after the question is revealed, and then the president will have 1 minute to deliver their answer. If a team wishes to give a rebuttal or a question relating to the response of the president, the rebuttal will last for 45 seconds, followed by a 45-second response from the original team.
And to do this, you may raise your hand.
Any questions before we start this next segment?
Okay, there will be a maximum of one rebuttal per response. But okay, so let's begin with theme 1, student life and engagement. Starting with candidate 1, your question will be... Your question will be, how can the student council gather and ensure that feedback from other students is heard and turned into actual improvement in school life?
Time is up. We welcome the candidate 1 to give their response to the question.
I feel like if that question is easy, as we can provide some sticky notes into few classes that we're organizing, and we can get response and ideas from students, like say for example, is this event helpful for them and their school life? Can this bring students unite as one? And if some students disagree and the followers are, let's say, many, saying that this event needs to be improved by doing this and that, our student council can collect those ideas and, let's say, improve this event for future events. That's it.
Thank you. The floor is now open to any other candidate who would like to raise a question or give a rebuttal. Candidate 2?
How will you sort the, what's that called? The suggestions. Would there be a system?
So since let's say for regular events, there will be some students that will be in charge in that class, and those in charge students will collect those papers, and those papers will be submitted to us, and we will sort things out based on their themes of their opinions.
All right. Question for candidate 2. How would you handle situations where students disagree with the student council's decisions or initiatives? I repeat, how would you handle situations where students disagree with the council's decisions or initiatives? 30 seconds starts now.
In regarding to the question that stated, what if students generally disagree or do not take the same initiative with the events that student council has hosted? Well, as me and my candidate explained earlier that our vision and mission is to create an environment where everyone is heard, we could listen to those voices, as that is our whole vision, and create activities where we listen to their suggestions and take their voices into account. However, we understand also that there are many suggestions that many students may have that may not be possible to execute in our school's institution as suggested. So we may not guarantee the promise of the exact suggestion of a student, but we may try our best to find an alternate solution that fits with the student's suggestion while also fitting into the school standards. Thank you.
All right. The floor is now open to any questions or rebuttals from other candidates. Seeing that there are none, candidate 2, you may return to your seat.
Okay, for candidate 3, your question is, what initiatives would you propose to promote diversity and mutual respect among students? I repeat, what initiatives would you propose to promote diversity and mutual respect among students? Your 30 seconds starts now.
Okay, so thank you, Kwan. What's your name again? Oliver, for the wonderful question. So one way I, as president, can suggest to promote diversity and mutual respect in our community is Cultures Day, where students can get to dress up and promote their cultures. As you know, our country, Indonesia, is a very diverse country with different kinds of cultures. And another way I can suggest for mutual respect is in one of our promised events, which is All That Jazz, a night at SES, where students can get to bond together and reminisce over the memories that they have made over the years, alongside with their teachers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, candidate 3. The floor is open for any rebuttals.
You stated earlier that in order to include diversity in our school's community, you would like to implement Cultures Day. Is that right? May I ask if there are any other options that you may go towards in case Cultures Day is not acceptable? Or perhaps it isn't approved?
Well, maybe we could have that as, probably, I think we can do like a little tiny segment that we could, implement our social, student council social media, where, we can have like a student promote their culture, and per day, there's like a different culture from a different student. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, candidate 3. Candidate 4, your question is, how would you ensure that quieter or less active students feel included in the student council activities? I repeat, how would you ensure that quieter or less active students feel included in the student council activities? Your 30 seconds starts now.
Okay, thank you for the wonderful question. To answer is that how to make less active students to join is we will make an event that will include everyone. Like, for example, games that will include everyone in the class so they can all work together as one. And we would also like to ask every OSIS from every class to ask the quiet students what kind of games or competition they like most. Example, they like drawing, then we can make a drawing competition. Thank you.
The- to-
So let's say you said something about like organizing events that requires one class together as one, right? But what if like let's say the OSIS member that are in charge are let's say not persuasive enough and they will just stay in the corner or they will just hide. How would that what's your response on that? Can like basically you said that everyone in the class should be included, but what if the OSIS member that is in charge in that class is not persuasive enough and let's say people dislike this guy or girl and so they will always exclude him out no matter how hard. How would you respond to that?
So the person is like in the class, nobody like how to be included. Well, we can make very sorry. So we can make a rule where every student must like join in that competition, and we should have students council who will roam around the school and see if they're really doing if everyone is included or not.
All right. How can the student council better recognize and celebrate different talents, not just academic ones, across the student body? I repeat, how can the student council better recognize and celebrate different talents, not just academic ones, across the student body? Your 30 seconds starts now.
So to answer the question, to help students get their talents to be recognized, me and my vice chose to make similar like an SES Idol. I believe that has been conducted before. So these competitions or performances can be held in different categories to allow each student from every category to participate. Thank you.
The floor is now open to any questions or rebuttals from other candidates. Are there any? Candidate? Seeing that there are multiple candidates who would like to raise questions, the first one to raise their hands in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so according to the media team, it's candidate 3. So we will give the question to candidate 3.
Okay, how would you encourage students to participate in this event of yours? Because what's the point of having the event if there's no one to join in?
So I believe that so what I mean prizes could be one, but I also believe that their teachers could, since like they're their homeroom teachers, like they can help the students to pursue that talent.
Okay, thank you, candidate 5. We will now welcome candidate 6. Your question is: many students attend school events out of obligation rather than passion. How would you make school activities something students truly look forward to? I repeat, many students attend school events out of obligation rather than passion. How would you make school activities something students truly look forward to? 30 seconds starts now.
So what we would do is before we make an event, we would ask their opinions. We can make this by making a G form and asking what they want and what is their opinions to it. And with that, we can make an event which is based on their ideas. Because, like we said, we want to lead. We don't want to just lead. We want to lead with students also. Thank you.
All right, the floor is now open to any questions or rebuttals from other candidates. Candidate 4.
But how if their ideas are not quite really impossible for the school to make, like it's hard?
If it's impossible, we would maybe compromise if with something they would like, would not cost like a lot of money, or maybe money is the problem. We could try to make another version which is more cheaper and more like possible for us to make.
Thank you, candidate 6. That is the end of the first theme of this segment. We will now be moving on to our second set of questions, which will be on leadership.
Okay, so we will start again with candidate 1. Your question will be... Your question is, if you were elected as the... If you were elected as the student council president, how would you ensure that your personal goals do not overshadow the collective goals of the student council? I repeat, if you were elected as the student council president, how would you ensure that your personal goals do not overshadow the collective goals of the student council? Your 30 seconds starts now. Your 30 seconds is up.
I know this role as being a president will require lots of time in school, and of course I need to focus on my personal goals. So as a leader, I have good time management, and so I will manage my time well as prioritizing my personal things done, such as, let's say, school works, so that I'm not falling behind, and this way I can lead for the better. Thank you.
The floor is open for any rebuttals. There are none. Now we will move on to candidate 2. Candidate 2, your question is, if you were elected as the student council president, how would you measure whether your term as president was successful? I repeat, if you were elected as the student council president, how would you measure whether your term as president was successful? Your 30 seconds starts now. Candidate 2, your time is up. You may start.
So, in regards to the question of whether or not I would find my term as a hypothetical elected president successful, firstly, I would look over the student satisfaction. As my mission states that I would like everyone in this school's community to feel included and heard, I would feel the sense of accomplishment if I had the sense of achievement that everyone in the school community had a chance to be heard, listened to, and valued. As I believe that being somebody in this school is already a good enough reason to be valued and understood. And if I had the opportunity to create that value to that person or student in our organization, I would feel that my term of successfulness has been successful. Thank you.
Now the floor is open for anyone to rebut.
How can you know if the students is satisfied to your period?
So, to understand whether or not the students have been satisfied to my period, as we go over each event, I would like to do a certain evaluation where I evaluate each of the students in their own respective areas in during the events, whether or not see the positivity that comes from it or the negativity. And if there are negative aspects, that gives me room to learn and grow and improve better in my future. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate 2. Now we'll be moving on to candidate number 3. Your question is, if you had to deliver disappointing news to students, such as an event cancellation, how would you communicate it transparently and respectfully? I repeat, if you had to deliver disappointing news to students, such as an event cancellation, how would you communicate it transparently and respectfully? 30 seconds starts now. Time is up. We now welcome candidate 3 to give your response.
Okay, thank you for that question. So, how would I deliver disappointing news as such as like cancellation of events to the students with full transparency and full respect? Is that first we would provide a full explanation on the reasons behind this cancellation in our social media account, and we would also give this same explanation to the teachers as they can also break the reasons down to their students so that they would all listen to it and understand our reasons behind the cancellation. And as a backup to that canceled event, we'll also like provide like another small event to like back up the canceled event. Thank you.
The floor is now open to any questions or rebuttals. Candidate 1.
If your first idea is, let's say, cancelled, then what makes you think that the second idea is a even better replacement from the first one?
Well, I am. We will never know if we would never try. So, but I believe everything is for the best, and yeah, all the things that we do are for the best. And if the main goal here is just to try to satisfy everyone, both the teachers and the students. And if we manage to achieve that goal, I think that our backup plan is just as good as our first plan. Thanks.
Thank you, candidate 3. We'll now give a question to candidate 4. How would you ensure optimal coordination between council departments, especially when some departments are less effective or active than others? I repeat, how would you ensure optimal coordination between council departments, especially when some departments are less effective or active than others? 30 seconds starts now. All right, candidate 4.
Okay, so for Our answer to this question is to make every month meeting where we will ask every head of department to join and ask if there's any concerns or any things that is like dragging them down to make them active or not active. And we would also check up to their department every week to see how are they doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Now the floor is open to any rebuttals. Since there are none, we will move on to candidate 5. Candidate 5, your question is, if one of your projects fails to gain support from the teacher or from the student, how would you adjust your plan accordingly? I repeat, if one of your projects fail to gain student or teacher support, how would you adjust your plan accordingly? Your 30 seconds starts now. Your time is up. We welcome candidate 5.
Okay, so to answer the question, me and my vice plan to each to tell and ask why they don't support it. So maybe it could actually improve our future events so that they would fit to the standards of the teachers and students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The floor is now open to any rebuttals. Okay, candidate 2, are you willing?
What if even after getting the opinions, the the activity is still scrapped or not supported? What would happen next?
Mm.
Please respond using the mic.
But we're asking why. So like, why do you disagree with this event?
I think she means to say that if hypothetically we do get the suggestions and answers beyond our questions of why it was they like say it was scrapped, let's say you make an improvement of the activity, but even then it is still disapproved by some authority or students. How would you go about that?
We would ask again, because our plan is to allow each student to actually like what they're doing. So yeah.
Okay, your time is up. Now let's move on to candidate 6 and the last one for this segment. Your question is, how would you ensure that every member of your student council feels valued and involved in the decision making in spite of disagreement and differing values? I repeat, how would you ensure that every member of your student council feels valued and involved in decision making in spite of disagreement and differing values? Your 30 seconds starts now. Your time is up. We would like to invite candidate 6.
what we would like to do is we would ask opinions of all members of the student council. And what we do is we compromise all of their opinions into one. And where everyone agrees to our compromise. Thank you.
Okay, now the floor is open for any rebuttals. Candidate G.
I think that wait no. How can you make sure that almost everyone's going to agree with your idea, as everyone has different opinions and different like perspectives on ideas that they want to like put into action?
Because we know that everyone has different opinions and everything can be compromised if we talk to them about them. So we would like talk about it and ask if we would do this instead of that, would you like it? And if still most people disagree with it, we would maybe come up with a different solution that everyone could agree to it.
Okay. Okay, thank you, candidates. Now we will move on to the candidate-to-candidate questions. Here in this round, the vice presidents will take the lead. They will be the one talking. So each vice president will be given one question, will give one question to the other team of their choice, and each team can only be asked once. Here's the format. The asking vice president chooses which team to direct their question to. The responding team will have 30 seconds to prepare. The responding vice president will then have 1 minute to answer, and the asking vice president will have 1 minute to rebut. Then finally, the responding vice president will have 1 minute to close their response. So it's the question, and then the response, then they get to rebut it again, then the final closing response for that specific question.
Yeah, everything he said. And we will begin with candidate one, candidate one's vice, followed by candidate two's vice, third, and all the way to candidate six's vice. Are there any questions before we start the segment? Yes? During preparation time, yes, but the one answering and asking will be the vice. Any other questions? Seeing that there are none, I guess we can begin. Candidate one's vice president, who will you be asking?
I would like to ask candidate 5.
All right. Candidate 1 asks candidate 5.
So, my question for you is, what if you disagree with the president because not all people have the same response to an opinion, let alone with your president, and compromising won't change an opinion?
Okay. 30 seconds for candidate vice 5's vice to prepare. Prepare. All right, we now welcome candidate 5's vice president to give their response.
So of course, if we have a disagreement, then definitely we can't just go with one of them. We have to maybe find similarities in between, and we can use that idea. Or if there are no similarities, then maybe we can just think about another option, none of our options, maybe something else we agree on that we both think is okay.
We now welcome candidate 1 to give a follow-up question or a rebuttal.
But then I will ask the follow-up question. But then, if you guys disagree to your first opinion, how will you like implement the other opinion, and how will it be as effective as the first one? Rephrase it.
We now welcome candidate 5's vice president to give their closing argument. No. For this part, there's no preparation time. The preparation time is only for after they ask the question at the start.
Okay, so I can ensure that the first option is not wait the third option is not as effective as the first one. Then maybe we could also consider the most effective one if we still don't agree, and we can maybe find still another alternative. And once again, even if it isn't as effective, I think our opinions really matter. So we can't just discard it.
Thank you, candidate 5. Please give the mic to candidate 2. Candidate 2, which candidate would you like to inquire?
Candidate 6.
All right, candidate 2, ask candidate 6.
So this candidate would like to ask candidate 6's stance on certain activities, since we haven't heard their voice much, and would just like to know their stance on activities and student engagement.
Candidate 6, you have 30 seconds to prepare.
So, can I start? So, thank you for your question, and I would like to answer. I'll plan enjoyable events like art, sports, and talent activities. By listening to students' ideas and letting them help planning, they will feel more excited to join.
All right. Now we ask candidate 2 to provide a follow-up question or a rebuttal.
So that was a great answer, candidate 6. But this candidate would also like to ask, how would you ensure engagement in those activities that you have provided?
We ask them like ideas so they can share their opinions, and we choose the activities by the most activities that is wanted by the students.
All right, thank you, candidate 2 and 6. We now like to welcome candidate 3 to give a question.
Okay, so I'm going to be asking candidate 1. As a vice, what can you do and how can you prove that you are truly involved in the student council? As there are many stereotypes of vices who are like less involved compared to their president.
Candidate 1, you have 30 seconds to prepare. We now welcome candidate 1 to give their response.
So for your question, I would like to reply that as me and my president always work together and in sync. So yeah, we when we host events, we would be there together too, and I would also explain what my part was in there.
Okay, candidate 3, you may give your question or rebuttal.
What what do you plan on doing when the students ask more questions about your involvement, and how can you like really like show to everyone, including the teachers, the leaders, and other students, that you've really actually like provided things that like help with the student council events and the preparations and stuff?
Final response from candidate 1.
So to your follow-up question, I would like to imply that we can also document our behind-the-scenes activities too, and also ask for like the other OSIS departments for like their vouchers, something like that. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate 1 and 3. Candidate 4, which other candidate would you like to ask?
Candidate 2.
Okay. Please provide your question to candidate 2.
So, how can you ensure that your ideas as a vice aligns with your president? Since if your ideas don't align from the start, how are your ideas or your events like going to work? How is it gonna happen if from the start it just doesn't align?
Well, this candidate would try their best to align their stances with their president, and if all else fails,
Sorry, candidate 2, you have 30 seconds to prepare first, and then you will. Okay, your 30 seconds starts now.
Now it is time for candidate 2 to give their response.
So this candidate, since our values and mission is basically to hear everyone's voice, we can try to communicate and find alternatives within my perspective and the president's perspective. And as I said earlier, if all else fails, then we can just talk it through or change our perspectives accordingly.
Candidate 4, you may provide your rebuttal or for follow-up question.
But what if even after like all your compromisation and stuff, like it just still doesn't align?
Candidate 2, you may provide your closing response.
Well, in theory and practice, it does. But if that was the theory, then we can try to keep talking and whatnot. But if that still fails, we can ask maybe a authoritarian person like a teacher to help us sort things out, or a support group or friends, stuff like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, candidate 4 and 2. Now we invite candidate 5. Which candidate would you pick to ask?
Candidate 3.
Okay, what is your question?
So I'm very sure you mentioned like you want to include Valentine's or Halloween events. Well, how would you deal with it if leaders disagree, like with your event?
Candidate 3, candidate 3, you have 30 seconds to prepare. Your 30 seconds starts now. Candidate 3, you may respond. Candidate 5, you may offer a rebuttal or your response.
So, you mentioned that you can provide alternatives, right? So, to find those alternatives, maybe to other events as well, if you two don't agree on the same thing, like the same alternative, or maybe that alternative is also still not accepted, then if one of you is busy or you're sick, then would you make your decision yourself? Or how would you deal with it?
Candidate 2, you may respond.
Personally, I myself, I'm ready to dedicate myself fully to the school. But as for Kevin, I believe that we should still talk to each other about the compromise that we're going to be doing. Even if he's sick or like anything happens to him, I feel like we should still talk it out after he's done with that. Because as I think it's more important to talk about teamwork rather than me deciding for myself. I think I should wait for him and delay the event rather than like decide things on my own. And as for if the leaders do not agree still, I feel like there should be we can still talk to the students about it, and we can talk to the leaders about what part they do not like and what we can include to make it more following to what the leaders' ideas are.
Okay, thank you, candidate 5 and 3. Now moving on to candidate 6. The candidate with that hasn't been asked is candidate 4. So you may ask your question to candidate 4.
What if the president is absent during the day we have an event? How would you take her place?
You have 30 seconds to prepare. 30 seconds. 30 seconds starts now. Candidate 4, you may respond.
So, as for the events, I probably would have already discussed it with my president. So I would probably already know what I would be doing for the events, like what we're going to do. So I believe that I have the enough leadership to know what to do and to take her role, because we already discussed it, and I believe I could get help from the other OSIS members if I really needed it. Thank you.
What would you do if the other member did not listen to you or work with their best because you're not the president?
I would probably still try my best to tell them and help them. Plus, I feel like we would select people that are easy to work with for OSIS members. And either way, their ideas would align with ours since the event would already be done.
Okay, thank you, candidate 4 and candidate 6. That is our last one for this segment. Now we will move to the next segment for closing statements. So to conclude this debate, each team will have 60 seconds in total for president and vice president. You will talk together for your closing statements. Please share your core vision for your student body, why students should vote for you, and a memorable closing quote or call to action.
We will start with candidate 1, followed by candidate 2, 3, and end with candidate 6.
Okay, now we will invite candidate 1.
I commissioned myself to refine these abilities to ensure that every student feels welcome and empowered to participate. I believe that true leadership means serving others and putting effort before comfort. I'm ready to make those sacrifices to help Stuco succeed. I don't join just to get a title, but I want to make a difference. I'll keep on helping and sharing ideas because once again, this isn't just a title. It's about having a heart to serve.
So me, I love helping others and organizing events that allow me to be a voice to my peers. And I believe OSIS is the right place to do so. Winning isn't everything. What matters is the impact I've made. If I don't get chosen, I'll use it as a motivation to grow and continue helping the school throughout my time here.
Because we are the one for SES. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate 1. We now welcome candidate 2 to give your closing statement.
So, as we close today with this debate, I would like to first state that it has been an honor to listen to all of your views and ways that you guys can improve the school. It really shows that so many people in our school have ways and improvements that they would like to make in this school to ensure that the school can have a good environment. And I feel like as a leader is has no purpose unless there's the people. So I would like to appreciate all of you for including your ideas and in this debate and discussing your viewpoints.
And for why students should vote for us, because we are ready to try our best, create activities, and make sure students are still comfortable while giving them new experience and more stuff. And no matter who wins or lose, we hope the SES community improves and continues creating a positive environment that fosters confidence
Sorry,
and flourishes
time is
engagement.
up. Thank you, candidate 2. Now we will welcome candidate 3.
Okay, so before we end this off, we would like to thank the facilitators for providing us the opportunity here to have a friendly little debate and to hear all of our fellow candidates' ideas and promises. And we wish all of you here good luck on the upcoming student council election. And to whoever wins, we wish you the best on leading this school and our organization to the best.
I'm so happy to hear that everyone here has so many wonderful opinions about what the Student Council can become and that we have such a bright future ahead of us. And I'm so proud of everyone here about how hard you're working to improve our school. And I'm excited to see who will become the next president and vice. So good luck to everyone.
Okay, don't forget to vote for 3 in the upcoming student council election. Stand by 3 for you and me. Thank you.
Now we welcome candidate 4.
To end today's debate, we would like to thank everyone for being here today, for the facilitators, for the candidate here, for giving up the pass.
And we believe that leadership is about serving with heart, not just standing in front with authority. And we also want to make sure that, like we said earlier, everyone's voices are heard. We want to make this student council a better place for everyone. And I was also really happy hearing that everyone wants the school to improve, and everyone has such different ideas in making our school a better place.
So that is why on November 3rd, don't forget to vote candidate 4, because the one you've been looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate 4. It is now candidate 5's turn to give their closing statement.
So first of all, I would like to thank you for all of the candidates and the facilitators for like coming here and even like having the willingness to become the president of the school.
Of course, we will try our best and do our best to support everyone, all the students and student council members. We will also like to make school a better place for everyone, where it is supportive and organized.
Like I've said before, leadership isn't always about leading or standing with them or standing above them. However, it's about being with them and trying our best to make this school a better place. So please vote for 5. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate 5. And now to close this off, candidate 6, please give your closing statements.
We first want to say thank you for all candidates for being here. We believe people should vote for us because Adel and I has great chemistry. We are easygoing and we can take your opinions and criticize.
Bring creativity, teamwork, and positive energy, and we make school more enjoyable.
We are really looking forward to work with each of one of you guys because we believe you guys have great potential, and we hope we can create a great team where we can grow as one. Thank you.
That officially concludes this debate. We would like to thank all candidates who are here to participate, and as well as all the media team and every other facilitator here who made this whole thing possible.
That concludes our debate session today. Thank you everyone for participating.